Treyarch just announced by far the craziest change to Black Ops 7 that is happening with the beta, and this is the fact that they are giving us a mode that has reduced skill-based matchmaking. People have been talking about skill-based matchmaking like it was just never gonna change, like it was here to stay, ever since it was heavily reworked in Modern Warfare 2019 to the point where it was so strict that it felt like your matchmaking was being manipulated every single game. Nobody thought it was gonna change from that because it did stay very similar to Modern Warfare 2019 system ever since then. Pretty much every single game up to Black Ops 6 had very strict skill-based matchmaking. This made a lot of people not enjoy the franchise anymore. A lot of people stopped playing, but also these games have been some of the most popular Call of Duties to date. Modern Warfare 2019 sold very well. Modern Warfare 2 2022 also sold very well. Black Ops 6 even sold pretty decently. And Activision kept saying that the player retention rates have been higher. There's more people sticking around with these skill-based matchmaking changes. But of course, there are so many other factors involved in that, so it was hard to say if skill-based matchmaking is the only thing leading to that. But a lot of fans, including myself, felt like it was taking a lot away from the franchise. It was making it less enjoyable, to the point where you were only going to really enjoy a Call of Duty after its life cycle, because after its life cycle, that's when skill-based matchmaking is basically inexistent because there's less players playing. But now Black Ops 7's beta has a mode called Open Mosh Pit that has classic matchmaking where skill is minimally considered. Of course, skill-based matchmaking has always been in Call of Duty in some way, shape, or form, but before Modern Warfare 2019, it was never that bad. It was never that significant because ping was still king. It still mattered more than anything. They cared about your connection, and that was how the matchmaking system works back in the day. But ever since Modern Warfare 2019, it's been more about your recent game's performance. If you've been doing too good at too many games in a row, they step in and say, you know what, we got to put you in a harder lobby. Or if you do really bad too many games in a row, they'll put you in an easier lobby. That's just kind of how it was working ever since Modern Warfare 2019, and that's not a good feeling to have because it basically punishes players for doing good. It makes you not want to play good too many games in a row because then you know you're going to be thrown into the hardest lobbies you've ever been into in the next few matches. And it's this whole cycle of you just feeling like your performance is being heavily manipulated. It's not fun to deal with. It also made it very difficult to play with friends because if you had a friend that wasn't nearly as good at Call of Duty as you, then they wouldn't want to play with you because they knew if you were playing with you, then the lobbies were going to be a lot harder, and that's obviously not something they want to deal with. So this just took away that social aspect of Call of Duty. I had so many friends that quite literally told me, you know, I don't really want to play with you because I kind of want to camo grind, and the only way I'm going to be able to do that successfully is if I'm in my own lobbies, so I'm going to have to do that. And it just took away that social aspect pretty substantially. So with this new mode added to Black Ops 7, I have played about 3 hours of it now, and I had the time of my life in it. Now, I want to make it very, very clear that there will still be really good and really sweaty players in these playlists. People have this weird idea with skill-based matchmaking where they think that if there's skill-based matchmaking, they're going to be playing against sweaty players all of the time, and if they're playing in a lobby with less skill-based matchmaking, then they're just not going to play against those players anymore. That's not how it works. Less skill-based matchmaking or heavily reduced skill-based matchmaking means the players you're playing against are going to be more mixed in their skill levels. You will still see people that are the same skill level as you. You'll be seeing people that are way better than you, and you'll also be seeing people that are way worse than you. And it's going to be very random lobby to lobby. So maybe you'll come across a lobby every now and then where everybody on their team is really, really good. They might even be way better than you, and those lobbies are going to be pretty rough, but at least you know it was random. You weren't put into that lobby because you were performing well previously. It was just a random lobby that you got into, and you have to deal with it for that one game, but you know the next game might be much easier. You don't know, or it will be kind of a mix of the two. It could be some bad players on the other team and some good players. There's really interesting mixes there, and I've already been noticing that when playing. Sometimes you'll get into a gunfight with someone, you're like, holy shit, that guy's really good, and then the next person you go up against could be one of the worst players you've ever played against in your entire life, and I love that so much. It's so much more interesting, and it makes each lobby more fun. Match times are also much quicker. You get right into a match so fast. There's literally no wait times whatsoever on that front. I also noticed I had some lobbies that didn't disband. Some of them did, but some of them didn't, which was kind of interesting. Disbanding lobbies should be completely removed across the board though. And the connection is actually really, really good. At least it's better than it was before. Of course, it's still a beta, so there might be some server issues, but you can tell there is a difference in how the connection feels. You feel the ping just dropping. It's just so much better, and I'm having a great time with it. And I'm seeing a lot of people say that they're only making this change because of the competition with Battlefield 6, because a lot of people aren't interested in Black Ops 7. A lot of people are talking negatively about it and they want to make people more positive about it. And honestly, you're completely correct. That is probably why they're making this change. And do I think that's such a horrible thing? No. Of course, I would have loved for them to make that change before. I'm not sitting here and saying it's a good thing that they waited this long to make a change, but it's better that they made a change now than never at all, because this could be a thing that gets implemented in every single Call of Duty going forward as a default feature. Of course, right now, there's two separate playlists, one with the open mosh pit, which has the classic matchmaking, and then one that has the strict skill-based matchmaking. But if this goes over well, this could be something that is just in every single Call of Duty for the foreseeable future, and that's freaking huge. So of course we should be sitting here and saying this is a good thing. Yes, I know it's because of the competition. I know it's because a lot of people have been hating on Black Ops 7, but that's business. Every single business out there only makes significant changes when they're starting to see numbers dropping a bit. And I do think that's unfortunate. Yes, I do think they should have made changes regardless, but again, it's good to see it happen now than ever before. And this is part of the reason I was so hopeful for this game. I've made so many videos talking about why I think this game is going to be really, really good. And one of my main reasons is the fact that a lot of people have been hating on Black Ops 7. Of course, I don't want to see a game have a bunch of hate on it. Of course, that's not a great thing to see happen, but it leads to changes being made. It leads to them listening to feedback. And competition is great. Of course, yes, there is competition against Battlefield 6. That's amazing. That's going to lead to a lot of changes being made, and hopefully those changes stick. Now, of course, this is just a change they're making in the beta, and they did mention that their goal is to gather critical in-game data and feedback to make Black Ops 7 the best experience possible. So it's very possible if this mode ends up flopping, meaning a lot of people back out of lobbies of it, maybe the retention's really low in it, maybe people just aren't enjoying their experience as much in this mode as they are in the skill-based matchmaking mode, then it's possible they will just say, you know what, we're going to keep this strict skill-based matchmaking how it was. Of course, all of us on Twitter, online, we're going to be saying how great this new mode is because it's so much more fun, because obviously we benefit from having less skill-based matchmaking, but obviously the very low skilled players out there are going to benefit more from strict skill-based matchmaking. So will these players be backing out of lobbies very often? Will they be getting off Black Ops 7 after playing this new mosh pit? It's very possible that could happen, and that's why I think we need to give as much feedback as possible, and we all need to play the living hell out of this open mosh pit. The more we play it, the more we stay in lobbies, the more likely they are to keep it going forward. And I do think it would be a really bad look if they give us this really cool mode in the beta, and then for the full game they say, you know what, we're not doing that, we're doing the strict skill-based matchmaking. It would really hurt the reputation of this game even more than if they just didn't say anything at all. So I think at this point they have to do something, whether it's just keeping this mode available in the game going forward, which I don't think would be the best solution, because if you have a no skill-based matchmaking or a reduced skill-based matchmaking mode alongside a regular playlist that has strict skill-based matchmaking, most people are going to choose the regular playlist. That's just how games work. People choose the default options most of the time, especially casual fans. They're not going to go out of their way to choose a separate mode that's different than the core experience. Most of the time, they're not going to do that, especially if it's a lower skilled player that knows that that mode is going to be harder for them to perform in it. So I don't think that'll be the best solution possible, but ultimately what I think they need to do is they need to find ways to make the game fun, even if you're doing bad. That is what they need to figure out, because Call of Duty is trying so hard the past couple years to make the game so everyone has a chance to do good. So everyone has at least one lobby every now and then where they can dominate, or not even dominate, but just like do decent, because let's be honest, not many people were dominating with strict skill-based matchmaking. Most players were just doing decent. That was the main thing, but they wanted most players to be like that. They wanted the average KD of most players to be pretty standard, pretty uniform. But they shouldn't be pushing for that. They should be pushing to make the game fun, even if you suck, even if you're performing terribly. And there's ways to do that. Do I know every single way to do that? No, not necessarily, but I know there are ways. Make the maps more fun, more interactive, which honestly Black Ops 7 is already doing in a lot of ways, so I think that's pretty cool. But also give people more of a reason to win games. If they care more about winning games instead of just getting a lot of kills, I think people will be okay with going 10 and 30 in a match as long as they're playing the objective and trying to win. You got to give them reasons to want to win. Give them more rewards for winning. There's not enough rewards for winning games in public matches in Call of Duty. I mean, what do you actually get for winning? You get XP. Nobody cares about XP. Give bonuses like COD points. Now, I don't expect them to give out a bunch of COD points so people are getting easy bundles, but maybe do a system where it's like every 50 wins, you get like 500 COD points or something. You can't even do that much with 500 COD points, but over time that will add up so people can actually get free bundles, which people might say they'll never do that. But think about it. Think about how much more engaging that would be for fans. They would be actively trying to win every single match so they can get those COD points, so they can eventually get free bundles. They will try so much harder in their matches. It's not going to lead Activision to making less money. If anything, it's going to lead them making more money because people are going to be staying in lobbies longer, trying to win, trying to go harder, and I think that'll engage players way more than ever before. And even if they're doing bad, they might still have a good time because they know they're working towards something, and that's important. More things to work towards is always great. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Are you very happy about this? The fact that they are actually doing something about skill-based matchmaking? I was not expecting this. I was expecting Black Ops 7 to do a bunch of things, and they were really going to try hard to please fans. And I was thinking maybe they'll throw away disbanding lobbies, maybe they'll change that, but I wasn't expecting a change to these skill-based matchmaking. And the fact that we're seeing it even just in the beta is crazy, and they're actively talking about it. They didn't just change it behind the scenes just to test things out. They literally told us they're trying to change it. This is huge for the future of Call of Duty, and I really hope you all can at least give it a chance when the beta becomes open tomorrow, because I really think it's going to be something special. I personally had a really fun time with it when I was playing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Peace out.